Hey everybody, it's Chris Harrison here with another episode of the Main Points with Main Place. Today we have an exciting announcement that was announced last week, but today we have Clay Gerhard, Executive Director for the Decatur Park District, to tell us that a blast from the past is coming back to Decatur. So Clay, welcome, and what's coming back?
Thanks, Chris. So June 8th and 9th this year, coming up in 2024, we will be bringing back the Decatur boat races that have been gone for about 20 years. We'll be returning. So the inboard boats that go between 80 and 170 miles an hour will be racing on Lake Decatur June 8th and 9th in 2024.
That's exciting. And I can't believe it's been 20 years that they've been gone. And it's exciting to have them back in June. You mentioned a range of speeds there. There's going to be different classes, right?
Yeah, there'll be about 12 different classes of boats, ranging from the normal inboard boats all the way up to the hydroplanes that go, again, 170 miles per hour across Lake Decatur. So there'll be some vintage and historic boats here as well that Decatur's never seen on the lake as part of the boat races.
Wow.
So we're excited to welcome them back.
That's awesome. So you said June 8th and 9th. 8th and 9th of 2024. Mm-hmm. It'll be a Saturday and Sunday, obviously.
It will.
What's going to be happening on the lake? I've heard that boats can still be on the lake and in the basin. What are maybe some other potential closures? Will the ramps be open? I mean, yeah. I think the boaters know there's going to be some disruption, but sure. I think it's going to be exciting to have the races back.
It will. These races are really boater friendly. They allow the boaters to come up within so far of the race line so they can actually feel like they're participating in the race. Obviously, safety is always a concern, but the main lake basin will be a no wake zone for that weekend. The main boat ramps will be closed because that's where all these boats will have to be craned into the water. If you remember back from when Summer Start was here, the multiple cranes kind of working in a ballet to put the boats in the water, and they'll race in 20-minute heats. And there will be little to no downtime between the heats. It will go boom, 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 boom. Lots of loud, action-packed things going on the water.
That's exciting. And again, I know when I first moved to town, the boat races were here, and there's some horsepower there, and there's some speed, and there's some noise. So people that are into action and energy and loud motors like that, they're definitely going to get that.
The boats are definitely very fast and very loud, and that's part of the fun of bringing the boat races back, is to get that experience of the roar on Lake Decatur.
Awesome. So, and I know there's some other things that are going to be happening along the lakefront that weekend. What else is potentially planned? I know it's still a little ways out.
Right. So during the Lake Centennial Celebration Festival here this past summer, we had food vendors, we had music, we had some different art vendors going on, we had games for the kids, we had Touch a Truck. Many of those elements will also translate over to this festival. We're just starting to put the details together on that, but it's not just going to be about the boat races, right? You can come and watch the races, you can get a bite to eat, you can get a beer or Pepsi along the lakefront there, and then check out all the other fun amenities that are going to be down there. We really try to strive to have something for everyone.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Good. So it is also going to be the 100th anniversary of the Decatur Park District.
It is.
So that's why the Park District is kind of putting some other energy into it too. Will there be anything at the Devon that night?
So Devon scheduling is just starting, and so yes, we are planning to try to have a larger show that night to capture some of that energy and the sure. folks who are going to be at the boat races to come down to Devon. We don't know what that show is yet, but we do plan on having a show that night.
Great. Very good. How did this come about? Who all was involved helping make this happen?
Yeah. So this has been a dream of Sean Bowser, who's a Decatur police officer here in Decatur.
Oh, great.
And he has been trying to bring the boat races back for several years. And, timing is everything, and COVID happened and whatnot. And the stars just kind of aligned this year, and Sean was able to get the Convention and Visitors Bureau on board, the Park District, the city, all to work together to bring the races back.
Mm-hmm. So I was at the press conference and in talking to Sean, there were some areas or some events that didn't come back after COVID. Yeah. So he seems pretty excited to have this race back, and it's in his hometown.
Absolutely.
So that's exciting.
Absolutely.
He also had said, the people that he travels with, the other boat racers, he's gone to races before because people say, hey, come on, show up for this. So I know he's going to be campaigning really hard to get a good showing of boats for this event.
Absolutely. Part of why we had the press conference last week was to announce the event so that Sean can go out, as they've got some really big races coming up here in September throughout the country, that they are going to be putting the word out of Decatur's got a new race coming, and we've got some exciting things planned to draw those boaters in. But our goal is to have at least 60 boats for this first race, and then it's looking like we're going to have 4 years of races at least for the time being to secure the start of the races coming back to Decatur.
Okay. So you said 4 more years. So this is 5 races total then? 5 years
Five races
racing?
is what we're looking at right now.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very good. So another thing, there was another racer that was there as well. His name was Dennis, who drove from southern Indiana just to bring his boat up to have it on display, which was really cool. We'll make sure to put a couple pictures in the comments here too for people, just to see the boats. And what was interesting was 2 things. One, those were the small boats.
They were.
I mean, he said the boats only get bigger from what was here in Decatur. But also, this is probably one of the better course layouts they have. That the size of the basin lets them run a larger track. He said in some places they'd run on rivers.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind that they're running a circular track on a river with currents and everything. So I think even the racers are going to be pretty excited about this.
They are. I think sometimes we forget, being residents of Decatur, we have a lake right in the middle of our city, and that just brings all kinds of opportunities for it. Again, the lake basin, the way it is oriented, is going to make for a great racetrack layout. They're talking about having a survey crew come out so we can actually do a certified race course of whatever mileage that ends up being. But yeah, you look at all the amenities we've got around the lake, Nelson Park, out to Scoville Park and the zoo and the Children's Museum, lots of great opportunities and great areas to watch the races from.
Yes, that was the other thing, places to watch the race from. He mentioned, some of these are lakes that are in mountains, and there are no viewing areas. And we have, really from Lost Bridge to Route 36, there's public lakefront access for anyone to watch the races from those areas. And then from the zoo too, where the sculpture park is, there's that clearing there, at an elevated level will be an interesting place to watch it too.
Right. Yeah, I think we have a really unique setup in that we have the lakefront property in Nelson Park, so we can accommodate all the necessary food vendors and trinket vendors and arts and crafts folks and the kids' activities. So we have just a really great setup to host a race like this here at Nelson Park in Lake Decatur.
Good. Well, it's going to be a great way to start the summer. In talking with Sean too, they said they would be looking for sponsors, and I thought this was pretty interesting too, where they could get local sponsors to make a donation that part of it goes to the boat, part of it goes to the event to help make the event happen. But I think that would be neat for businesses to get involved, because then you have more of a connection or a tie to that boat and a boat to follow for the weekend and see how they do. So
absolutely,
that'll be interesting. And then also volunteers. Sean's wife I was speaking with, I mentioned that I have a boat and I'd want to be on the water, and she goes, well, if you want, you could be a turn spotter and be on the inside of the course. So to the boat lovers out there that don't want to miss a weekend of being on the lake, here's your chance to be on the lake and in the action.
You can be in the action. I was talking to someone the other day who last time, 20 years ago when the boats were here, was out as a flagger on one of the city barges. And so there are lots of volunteer opportunities. There's lots of opportunities if you're a food vendor or an arts and crafts vendor or any kind of other vendor to participate in this event. If you've got something for a kids activity that you'd like to suggest to the park district, give us a call at the park office and we'll be happy to talk to you about that.
Perfect. Very good. Clay, anything else to add about the event?
No, we're just excited, again, as this kicks off the Park District's 100th anniversary celebration, and we're going to have lots more of events and activities as we announced probably closer to January.
Okay. Hard to believe early September we're already saying mark your calendars for next year, but that's what Decatur's like right now. There's just so much going on. It is time to start marking your calendars for 2024.
Absolutely. We're excited, and it'll be a fun year.
All right. Clay, thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining another episode of the Main Points with Main Place. To check out past or future Main Points, find us at YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.